So I did it again. Here's another tractor. Just out of respect for the previous owners, I did not record this at their home. And I'm sure if you're watching this, you're also one of these people that as you drive around, you look at everyone else's hedgerows and go, yeah, that project they gave up on, I'd love to get that thing. So this is actually from one of our neighbors near my grandfather's house. This thing has been sitting behind their house in the hedgerow for the last, we're thinking 20 years. But hey, came with a key and ice on the seat. You know, it's a beautiful day. And by beautiful, I mean it's not raining. So we'll take it. It's only got 673 hours. It does roll, the clutch isn't caught, and the brakes work, which puts it in a very rare position for this property. Nothing here has brakes. Obviously sitting for a long time. We've got some rust issues. We've got some hydraulic hose issues. I think they said this cylinder was rebuilt. It's the new lines, but we got a lot of pitting here. Well, check order of operations. I am going to get the hood off. We're going to pull out a couple glow plugs, get some WD-40 in the cylinders. I want to take the starter off if it's easy enough. Make sure that spins all right, because anything that sits this long, you never know. I don't want to fry that starter. And once I get that off, I should be able to get to the flywheel and turn this thing over, make sure the engine's not seized. We'll check all the fluids, do all that fun stuff. Well, to start with, where is the dipstick? Tank is almost empty. I like that spring-loaded cap. I'm finding all kinds of stuff, and none of it is a dipstick. I finally found it. The dipstick on this is way down here underneath the starter. Hasn't been out in a while. It has oil. It has way too much oil. None of it's milky though. Very dirty. Neat things that I did find while trying to find that tiny dipstick though. Got a nice screen in front of the radiator here. I just think that looks neat. We've got decompression, so when it's cold you can get this thing spinning over faster. There's access ports for everything on this motor. That's pretty cool. The glow plugs have a metal bus bar going between them. That's pretty neat. It feeds this side and it just goes to both of them. Another great thing I saw in this, the exhaust goes back like the old, you know, the Ford 8Ns and such. So it's not pointing up. So that should have prevented moisture from getting in there. Generally, looking this thing over, it's pretty easy to maintain. All the filters you can get to, everything's right out in the open, except for that stupid dipstick. So it's got oil, it has antifreeze, good signs, doesn't look rusty in here, doesn't look like the mice got to it. I think it's got a chance. The way that I left it with them, since they're neighbors, great people, I just said, look, I'm interested. I brought it here, told them I'd look the thing over. If it works and I can get it going, we'll discuss keeping it. If it's not going to work, I'll at least figure out what's wrong with it, bring it back to you so you know what's got to be done. The things I get myself into. This motor is so small. It's so cute. Well, here's the plan. These are your two glow plugs. So I am going to get these out, get some WD-40 in there. Remember how I said this thing looks like it was thought through when they built it? Yep, changed my mind after the first bolt. You cannot get this other glow plug out without taking the intake off. And of course I had the camera propped up on the intake, so little readjustment here. There's your glow plug. They're always longer than you think they're going to be. Doesn't look like these were used very much. I didn't ohm them. You can use an ohm meter to test these. They should both be within a couple ohms of each other. Those actually visually look all right. So I need to get this intake off. None of this has ever been off. It still has the Kubota paint on it. Even these glow plugs, they still have this, I don't know what color you call it, but they just spray this whole thing down when they assemble it. None of these have had that. So there's flaking paint everywhere that I need to try and keep from getting into the intake, because nothing likes to run on flaked paint. Okay, we've got both glow plugs out. When you're taking those out, be gentle. There's a lot of threads there. Just be gentle. If it's not moving, little heat, little oil. Luckily, I got these rocking, put a little WD-40 on them, got some oil in the threads, and it went. And this engine turns over immediately. We've got hiss. We've got other hiss. Okay. A couple little tight spots, but it's not bad. The alternator turns. Lovely. Okay, we have an engine that turns over. I also checked the forecast, and it's not looking good. I got rain coming in about an hour. I wanted to take the starter off and just make sure everything was okay inside of it. Thinking about it now, what's the difference? The engine turns over so free, I can just hook a battery up and see what happens to this thing. If it runs, well, not runs, but it'll turn over. There's not much resistance here. If the starter's shot, it's shot whether I take it off of here or not. So, in the interest of time and the incoming rain, I've just got those kind of wedged on there right now. To make sure nothing's smoking. Well, contact. Now hold on. That's not the starter. Main switch. Always remember, remove switch key after operating. Oh, look at that. Off? Oh, no, someone just... Well, I guess the original way, this was rotated 90, so that's off. On, lights dim. How about that? I'm assuming this is the starter then. Oh! That's the starter. And it works. Oh boy. Excellent. All right, let's get some more. Some more WD in those cylinders. Oh yeah. Neat. Okay, that's all I needed to see. Sounded pretty good. Gonna put these glow plugs back in, throw the intake back on, and put the cover right back on this thing because I do not have time to mess with it. But I now know it has a chance of running. Actually went way smoother than I thought it was going to today. It's coming though. It's starting to sprinkle just in time. I went around with the WD-40 and just sprayed everything that I know I'm gonna have to move or take off. Got one of these handles to move a tiny bit. The other one, nope. Don't want to pry on that too much and mess something up, so we'll let the WD-40 hopefully work some magic. I sprayed down all the cylinders. This one we're gonna have to address. You don't want to run that pitting through the seals and wreck the rest of the cylinder. Hopefully it's not too deep. It is. So probably have to polish that up a little bit before we use it. The others seem okay since the loader itself is almost all the way down. Those should be protected, but just went through, got all the connections. Anything that pivots, anything I know that's gonna have to move. Going to order new filters for everything on here. I've got faith that this thing is gonna work. So get a new fuel filter, oil filter. I'll do some research online. Check in with, I don't know, pretty much everything that's gonna need to be done. I would like to give this a once over, really good maintenance check, and I think this will make a nice little homeowner snowplow. You know, fix the garden. I think they've even got forks for it. Hey, I think it can pick up 500 pounds. That's more than me, so we'll take it. It'll be a nice little addition to the future homestead. And I'm sure I will use and abuse it like every other homeowner and try to do way too much with it.